This is OneWrestling.com, 24/7 wrestling news.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Big Ray's Wrestling Show. I am the Mark of the Masses, the man with the plan. Big Ray here to stay to talk some TNA today. Ladies and gentlemen, Impact 1/9/2013. I have been away for almost 2 weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been sick. I should have taken the flu shot, I gotta be honest with you. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of stuff has happened over the last couple of weeks. A lot of interesting twists and turns. TNA apparently is going to be reformatting their pay-per-view programming. They're going to be reformatting their TV programming from what I'm hearing on the internet, what I'm reading. A lot of things are changing. And over the last couple of weeks, we have Jeff Hardy, who is the Wrestler of the Year, Mike Knox, who is now one of the members of Aces and Eights, and we have Hulk Hogan, who apparently is not happy that Brooke and Bully Ray are in love. A lot of stuff to go over, ladies and gentlemen. But first, I want to start off with a question for you guys. Wrestler of the Year. I haven't had a chance to get my opinion across on this. There is no way, and this is again my opinion. I would like to know what you guys think. Leave a comment below here. But there's really no way, man, that I can see Jeff Hardy being the Wrestler of the Year TNA. I honestly feel, if my opinion, I think Bobby Roode was definitely the Wrestler of the Year. I think Bobby Roode accomplished more. I think he was more of an important story person within the storylines. I think Bobby Roode basically carried the company. Even when Jeff Hardy at the beginning of the year really wasn't there much. I really think Bobby Roode, and I know they say it's a popularity contest, so on and so forth, but if you really watch the programming, if you watch the matches, if you know what's going on in TNA, I mean, and Austin Aries is a close second, and Jeff Hardy being third. I would even put Bully Ray ahead of Jeff Hardy, believe it or not. I know Bully Ray hasn't won a championship. I'm kind of a Bully Ray mark. It has nothing to do with his name being Ray. But the fact of the matter is that I honestly feel that Bobby Roode should have been Wrestler of the Year with TNA. So I would like to know what you guys think. But let's jump right into TNA Impact 1/9/2013. Sting is back. Sting is back. He comes to the ring with Samoa Joe, Kurt Angle, and Sting grabs a mic and he basically calls out the Aces and Eights, and Joe calls out the Aces and Eights, and Kurt Angle does something a little different. He calls out the a-hole, Mr. Anderson. Apparently last week, while all hell was breaking loose, Aces and Eights steel cage match, Mr. Anderson just stood by and did nothing. Did absolutely nothing. Sting came and saved the day. So basically, Kurt Angle wants to know why. Is Mr. Anderson with us or is he against us? Well, Mr. Anderson comes down the ring and makes a really good point. He says, look, where the hell were you guys when I was getting my butt handed to me in the back by the Aces and Eights? You guys were nowhere to be found. So it appears that Mr. Anderson is kind of holding a grudge. It's kind of unclear whether Mr. Anderson is officially part of the Aces and Eights or not. I would like to know what you guys think the storyline is going with this character here at TNA. Is Mr. Anderson, come to think of it, is Mr. Anderson maybe doing an inside job? That's a possibility. I mean, I was really thinking about it really well over the last couple of hours, and I said, well, maybe Mr. Anderson is kind of doing that thing where he's actually working for TNA and he's working with Sting and he's trying to get close to the mob boss, trying to find out from the inside, trying to gain their trust. Anything is possible, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to know what you guys think. So basically, Kurt Angle didn't want to hear any more of Anderson's, because they started going back and forth in the ring, and Anderson basically got in Kurt Angle's face, and Kurt Angle attacked Mr. Anderson, and Mr. Anderson walked away. That's where we leave that for now. But we jump right into the X Division, and there is an X Division tournament, and apparently the winner of this match will face Christian York at Genesis, and then the winner of that match will face Rob Van Dam for the X Division title. Kenny King against Zema Ion, and it was actually it was an enjoyable match, quick match. Really quickly to go over what happened. Kenny King with a running double knee to Zema Ion's face, hits him with the Royal Flush. 1, 2, 3. Kenny King goes over Zema Ion. Now, I've read a lot of tweets, and I've gotten some emails saying that some people feel it's too early for Kenny King to become the X Division champion. I beg to differ. I think it's about time that we have someone like Kenny King, an all-around talent, someone who's great on the mic, who has a lot of charisma. I think he would carry the X Division very well. And then along with guys like Zema Ion, so on and so forth, and Christian York, I think the X Division is again, should be a focal point for TNA if they want to succeed. I've made this point before. I would like to know what you guys think. But Kenny King goes over Zema Ion tonight. So we have Robbie T and Robbie E in the back. And Robbie E is with the bro and the bro and the bro, and he's trying to convince Miss Tessmacher to be his tag team partner in the mixed tag team match versus Tara and her little boy toy. Well, Miss Tessmacher agrees, but she doesn't want to tag with Robbie E. She wants she wants a winner. And quote, Big Robbie T. So basically, it'll be Robbie T and Miss Tessmacher versus Tara and her little boy toy. Anyway, so we go into the match, and it was actually a pretty fun match. We have Robbie T, who actually hits the power bomb, a huge power bomb, knocking out Jesse, taking him out. And I gotta tell you, I think Robbie T is actually getting a lot better in the ring. He's showing a lot more charisma. I think the fans are actually kind of getting into Robbie T a little bit. I would like to know what you guys think. I think Robbie T may be a player. Anything is possible, ladies and gentlemen. But let's move on. So basically, Robbie T and Miss Tessmacher go over. Oh, I almost forgot. Towards the end of the match, they start breaking into a fist-pumping, Gundam-style, weird dance kind of 80s montage. Dude, it was all over the place. And then Robbie T kisses Miss Tessmacher and she passes out. Interesting. Very interesting. I see they're kind of giving Robbie T a little bit of a push. Does he deserve it? I think he's getting a lot better. I would like to know what you guys think. But we move on to Gut Check. It is the first time that they have two Gut Check rookies facing each other. Now, I'm going to give you my personal opinion on this match and what I think and who I think should go on. We have Brian Cage, who comes in the ring with the old Lash LaRue, what is this, like what is this thing called again? Sideburn? He does the whole Lash LaRue thing. You guys have to Google WCW Lash LaRue. You'll know what I'm talking about. Versus Jay Bradley. And I was actually sitting watching this match like I was a judge. And I thought, I think both guys, actually, I'm going to be honest with you. Well, first and foremost, Jay Bradley goes over Brian Cage with a lariat. They call it a lariat, but it's basically a clothesline from hell, a.k.a. Also known as the finisher for John Bradshaw Layfield, the WWE. Very interesting. I really, really enjoyed this match. It was a good match. I think both guys, very, very good. Both guys look great, but I honestly feel, and I made a couple of notes here. I felt Bradley has that look. He has that look. He has a lot of charisma. He was able to get heat off the fans without doing much. If you really watch the show, Jay Bradley's going to be a star. And I have a little inside information about Jay Bradley, but I'm not going to divulge that this very moment. But Jay Bradley's going to be a major player in TNA. I have a very good idea, but I'm not going to say anything. And actually, one of my Twitter followers actually sent me a tweet, but I can't really post it because it kind of almost gives away what's going on. Thanks, Gary, by the way, Gary Sinelli at Twitter. So we go backstage and we see the Aces and Eights with Mr. Anderson, and basically Mike Knox is back there. Mr. Anderson, everybody's partying. Mr. Anderson cuts everybody off and says, "Listen, we gotta focus on business, man. This is serious." Well, Devon agrees. and they all go into their boardroom or whatever the hell they call it, the back area, the table, and they call Mike Knox out. Mike Knox, formerly of the WWE. And basically, it's the same situation with DOC, Doc. He has to earn his spot back with the Aces and Eights. Very interesting. Again, I don't know where the storyline is going, but I have a suspicion that Mr. Anderson has something up his sleeve. I don't know if Aces and Eights should trust him. But anyway, we move on, and we have Joseph Park, who comes to the ring, and he's begging and pleading after he basically finishes his wrestling camp. And Hulk Hogan he doesn't want, Hulk Hogan, brother, doesn't want to hear it, dude. Hulk Hogan has so many other things on his plate. Well, ladies and gentlemen, finally, Hulk Hogan caved in. So Joseph Park will get his match versus, I guess, one of the Aces and Eights members. Very interesting. So while all this is going on, Hogan's, I guess, about to walk out, and Brooke Hogan says, I've been trying to call you. She's on screen. I've been trying to call you. I've been trying to reach you, Dad. Don't go anywhere. I'm coming to the ring. And she does. And she wants Bully Ray reinstated. Or Mark, if we're using real names. Hulk Hogan says no. And Brooke Hogan is left crying in the ring. So we have an entertaining match. We move on to an entertaining match between Bobby Roode, Austin Aries, the Cowboy James Storm, and the number 304 top wrestler of the year, Jeff Hardy. I gotta be honest. Very, very good match. During the match, Bobby Roode and Austin Aries did not get along at all. Towards the end of the match, they finally started clicking a bit. Jeff Hardy and James Storm really wrestled well together. Towards the end of the match, Cowboy James Storm is cleaning house. And the greatest tag team in wrestling today, Kaz and Daniels, come into the ring. Or actually, they get involved on the outside of the ring. Cowboy James Storm on the outside. They attack Cowboy James Storm. Well, Jeff Hardy, while in the ring, hits the Twist of Fate on Bobby Roode. Austin Aries goes outside the ring and hits him with the belt. Takes him out. So they continue to attack. They decimate Jeff Hardy. And then they grab the TNA World title. Well, Austin Aries grabs one side. Bobby Roode grabs one side. It turns into a tug of war. Very interesting. I am interested to see where how this dynamic is going to break down. But anyway, we move on. Excuse me. We have Kurt Angle versus Mr. Anderson. And the match never actually gets off. Mr. Anderson basically is baiting Kurt Angle, standing outside the ring, doesn't want to come into the ring. And while this is happening, well, basically Mike Knox comes in the ring with a ball-peen hammer and takes out Kurt Angle, hitting him behind the neck. Now, if you know your history, you know that Kurt Angle, as he would put it, won an Olympic gold medal with a broken freaking neck. Well, we don't know what's going to happen with Kurt Angle, ladies and gentlemen. He actually was taken out on a stretcher after receiving a really bad shot to the back of the neck by Mike Knox. Very interesting. But Sting comes out and he challenges Knox. And this is where everything goes to hell. Everything basically goes crazy. Sting is basically beating the living crap out of Mike Knox, and he's about to finish him off with a ball-peen hammer. And I'm going to say this really quickly because a lot of stuff happens. So now we have the Aces and Eights who actually have Brooke Hogan hostage. They all come out, they grab Brooke, and out of nowhere, Bully Ray, who's supposed to be suspended, comes out with a chain wrapped around his fist, gets Brooke Hogan away from the Aces and Eights. Everything breaks off. We have Bully Ray in the ring with Sting, with Brooke. Hulk Hogan to the ramp. Basically, they go back and forth. Bully Ray ends up talking about his feelings and how Brooke makes him feel, yada, yada, yada. And he freaking gets on a knee and proposes to Brooke Hogan. And not only that, but he wants to marry Brooke live on TV. Ladies and gentlemen, you know how I feel about this. Or if you're new to this program, Big Ray's Wrestling Show, follow me on Twitter at Big Ray Show. I don't know. I don't trust Bully Ray, and I think Hulk Hogan brother. I think he has a justifiable reason why he suspended Bully Ray. I know Bill Apter made a video stating in his editorial that he disagreed with Hulk Hogan's action, but you know, Bully Ray and Brooke are bringing their personal life into this business decision. Hulk Hogan is running the whole show. Hulk Hogan needs a clear head to deal with what's going on with the Aces and Eights. What do you guys think? Do you think Hulk Hogan is justified in suspending Bully Ray? Ladies and gentlemen, this is Big Ray's Wrestling Show. You can find me here every week at onewrestling.com or YouTube /OneWrestlingVideo. Follow me on Twitter at Big Ray's Show. Ladies and gentlemen, I say this every single week, and I'm so glad to be back and glad to be feeling better. I would do this for a living, but if I can, I would do it anyway. Why? Because I love talking wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, I will see you next week. Apparently, there's going to be a wedding. Bully Ray and Brooke Hogan. Who knew? Peace.